Hello and welcome to our Fri-Yay video. My name is Kelsey. I'm the Teen Services Librarian here at the Smith Public Library. And this is Whitney.
I'm a reference assistant. Not as cool as Kelsey, but
you were definitely as cool as me. We normally do Japanimation together, but unfortunately since we've been closed, we haven't been able to do any kind of Japanimation programs. So we wanted to do a special video for you guys to let you know we're thinking of you, and we just wanted to do a fun craft that kind of related to Japanimation and anime and manga in general. So today we're going to be making soot sprites out of puffballs.
they're so cute.
So these are from a couple Studio Ghibli films. They are actually, and my husband told me this, they're the only creature in a Studio Ghibli movie that appears in more than one film. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, so the soot sprites are actually in Japanese called susuwatari, and they are little, like, kind of creatures that live in the darkness in abandoned buildings. They're kind of what the equivalent of what you would refer to as dust bunnies in English. And it literally means, susuwatari literally means wandering soot. So they appear in My Neighbor Totoro, and they appear in Spirited Away, both of which are excellent movies. I love both of them, and you should check them out if you can right now. I don't know if they're streaming anywhere.
No idea.
I know that
They should be.
Disney owns some of the property. I know they own Ponyo. You can watch the Studio Ghibli film Ponyo, I believe, on Disney Plus. I'm not sure about Totoro or Spirited Away though. But anyway, so what you will need for this is you will need some black pom-poms, and these are the 2-inch pom-poms. We made our test soot sprites out of brown pom-poms because we only have 4 black pom-poms, and we currently don't really have any way of getting more black pom-poms quickly. So we're using our 4 that we have left. So we have our pom-poms. You'll need probably a white piece of fabric or felt. We're using felt today. Some Sharpies and some glue. So Whitney has like fabric tacky glue, and I've got my hot glue gun right here. And I'm gonna use hot glue for the eyeballs on mine. She's gonna use fabric for hers. You will also, if you want to hang yours, which I think would be really cute, you'll want some embroidery floss or some thread to hang. And we tried to put some on a garland. And I don't know if you can see their face as well because they keep spinning around to face the bottom. So if you hang them from the ceiling, that might be kind of funny because they're looking down at you. But otherwise, you might want to find a way to kind of face them forward. But anyway, so we're going to get started. So I'm going to grab my felt, and I'm going to make, I drew my little dots on first, and then you can do whatever you want.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because then it's easier.
Yeah.
So somewhere on your felt or your fabric, oh God, there, you're gonna wanna make 2 little black dots and keep them kind of far away from each other. You can see on this one where I cut out 2 eyeballs there. So put your black dots, yeah, just like Whitney did. Do mine. And you can make them whatever size you want. Just keep in mind that you're gonna have to glue them to a 2-inch pom-pom. So, because soot sprites, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this picture well, but this is actually a still from Spirited Away. And they're all different shapes and sizes. They've all got weird little eyeballs. They've got weird little bodies. They actually, in the films, have like spindly little arms and legs that can come out. They look like spiders essentially, but much, much cuter. And we don't really have a way of doing arms and legs, and you don't really have to have them for this kind of craft. So we're just going to do our pom-poms.
I bet you though, if you didn't want to hang yours up, you could like just string the thread through there and have it act like little arms.
Yeah.
Like if you just cut it, but it's your soot sprite. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. You could even get black pipe cleaner if you have that.
Ooh, yeah.
and make some little arms. And you could probably even stab it through the pom-pom and get it to come
I bet you could.
because they're pretty easy to get things through. But so, as you're cutting out your eyeballs, you can cut them out in whatever size you want. They can be small eyeballs, they can be big eyeballs. This one has 2 different sized eyeballs. So he's kind of goofy looking, and I did that on purpose. I wanted him to look kind of wonky. So I'm kind of gonna go that way with this one, I think. All right.
You know, before this, because I have not seen My Neighbor Totoro. I know. It's bad.
Shame.
I know. I have seen Spirited Away though, and that was, I was telling Kelsey, that was the first anime anything I'd ever watched. And those Soot Sprites are so cute.
They are.
They're so cute, and they put her little shoes in the. Anyway.
And they're helpers, essentially.
Yes.
Soot Sprites are generally, I mean, they're kind of mischievous, but they're helpful. They want to help the characters in the movie. And in Totoro, the family moves into a house that's full of Soot Sprites. And the Soot Sprites realize that the family is good and they want to help them, and they end up moving out to a different location. So, you got your eyeballs, you got your pom-poms. Okay. So, Whitney's going to take her tacky glue, and I'm going to take my hot glue, if I can get it here. And if you're using hot glue, be very careful. You can burn yourself very badly. Our coworker Chelsea, who you saw in the video last week, if you get a hot glue gun that has a high heat setting, be very, very careful with that. She actually got a nasty burn on the back of her hand from one of our hot glue guns. So be very careful. And is that specifically for fabric, the one that you're using, or is it just a regular tacky glue?
I think it's just a regular tacky glue. It doesn't say anything about fabric, but we like to use it on any of our flannels that we make. If you've ever seen our flannel, or if you have brothers and sisters who've ever been to Storytime and seen our flannel, this is like the best glue for that. But yeah, it's not necessarily.
It dries
fabric,
clear
I think.
because it's clear.
Yeah.
Some tacky glue you get is like the white, like glue consistency that it normally is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't dry clear. So if you want it to dry clear, you want to get that stuff she's got right there.
And I bet if you're in a pinch, you can use Elmer's glue. I feel
Probably,
like
yeah.
it might, I mean, who knows? It might stay as well as this. It might not. We didn't try it when we were making this before today. But if you don't have tacky glue and you don't want to go out and you just have Elmer's glue, just use that.
Yeah. Especially if you're just going to be hanging it up.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're not going to be handling it a lot, it'll be fine. So I just put a dab of glue on the back of one of my eyes and gently pressed it on, and then another dab of glue on that one and pressed it on. And I got my little Soot Sprite. We did the same thing. Like I said, if you're using hot glue, be very, very careful and make sure that you have something to sit your hot glue gun on. I've got a folded piece of cardstock that I'm sitting it down on so that it's not just laying on the table, because it'll make a mess. So be very careful with that. Okay, so, and now if you want to hang your Soot Sprites, you're going to need a sewing needle. Let me get one. Have you got one already? Okay.
I do. Thank you, Stephanie. Shout out. Our coworker.
And you'll want some thread or some, we're using embroidery floss today. It's a little bit thicker than normal sewing thread. I mean, quite a bit thicker than normal sewing thread. But you can also pull embroidery thread apart to make smaller threads if you would like the thread to be less visible, so it looks like the Soot Sprite is just hanging in midair. And normally, you would also want to use black probably. But again, because of our limited resources, we have a brown and I have like a lavender gray color. So we are making do with that today. So just cut yourself off. However long you want your thread to be, that'll be how far down your Soot Sprite will hang. So, and now comes the tricky part. You have to thread it through your needle. And that might take a minute. Okay.
So close.
So thread your needle.
Aha.
Leave yourself a little tail on the end, just so, because I'm very bad about pulling my thread out through my needle after I've already threaded it. So you gotta be careful. So now we're gonna be very violent and we're going to just stab our puffball straight through the center. So from the side, come in and stab your soot sprite, and it'll give you a little bit of resistance, but you want to just stab right through there. I know it looks very sad and morbid, but and then pull it through.
No soot sprites were harmed, I promise.
They were. So then you'll go ahead, you can just detach your needle. You don't need this needle anymore. All you needed it for is to stab your soot sprite. Then pull it through and tie a knot at the top of your choosing. It doesn't really matter how you want to tie it. I like to make the, what are the ones called where you hold it and then you hold it together and then loop and pull through. I know what that knot's about.
Nuts.
Neither do I. We need a Boy Scout in here to
tell us what. Leave a comment. Tell us
correct
what knot
us.
that was.
All right. So there is my finished soot sprite.
Mine is very short. Also, we keep talking about hanging these up because Kelsey found this craft.
Yes.
Love this craft. In that article, the lady who did this craft originally hung it up like in the corner, like in the top corner of a room. And she had like 3 each hanging up there. So it was like the soot sprites were chilling out in her corner. Like,
yeah, she hung them all at different lengths. So she had like one on a longer string, one on a shorter string, and she hung them up in like a dark corner kind of her room. So it's kind of a really cute little thing if you're not expecting to turn around and like look up in a corner and see some little soot sprite eyeball staring down at you, which can be kind of creepy. But when you realize what it is, it's pretty cute. Because like I was saying, they tend to hang out in those dark kind of dust bunny places. They don't like to be seen. They're kind of hiding in the dark. So they would be perfect hanging up in the corner of your room up somewhere. Or you can, I don't know, stick them under the couch and see if your cat is able to pull them out and play with them. Yeah. So, do we have anything else that we want to go over? Any animes we've been watching recently?
Oh my goodness. I keep meaning to watch Black Clover, and you know, it's one of those things, and I'm sure everyone has this issue if you like watching subbed anime. It's the issue of, do you watch it or do you do something else? Because when you have subbed anime on, obviously
you have to pay attention and read. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't pay attention to this. And I've tried to watch dubbed anime. I respect anyone who watches that. I don't know. It feels different to me.
I am not a fan of dubbed anime either, I have to say. I'm a subs kind of person.
Yeah. I did watch the entire Full Metal Alchemist and Ouran High School Host Club dubbed though.
Wow.
I did that. And it wasn't that bad. So all dubbed anime isn't bad. But that's not, whatever.
But anyway, if you would like to learn more about Studio Ghibli and their films, look them up. Like I said, I believe Ponyo is on Disney Plus right now. You may be able to find some of their other stuff streaming, especially since we're in the middle of this crisis right now. A lot of companies have opened up free access to their material, so that might be worth checking out. And as always, we're here for you guys. Always feel free to call the library if you have any questions about anything. Leave us in comments. Let us know what you've been watching.
Yes.
We'd love to talk anime with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We miss doing Anime Club with you guys.
Yes. We might comment and talk to you about.
That's right. We're gonna have to eat all of the Pocky that we had saved up for the meeting ourselves. Oh no. But anyway, we're happy to do this craft for you guys today. Show us pictures. If you make soot sprites of your own, show us some images. We would love to see where you hang them.
Also, I made little feet. So they end up working. I know this one doesn't have eyes, if you can't see it, but it has little feet. Anyway, sorry.
All right. So, until next time, have a lovely weekend, guys. It's a holiday, so enjoy, and we will see you next Friday.
Bye.
Bye.